Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to 30 Minutes of Wisdom. We get together twice a month to share amazing thought leaders to support you in your personal and professional development. I'm your host, Robin Blank-Mascari, and thrilled to share this program this morning. I'm going to clear my throat for a sec. Okay, let's get started. So our guest today, oh my goodness, she is, I'm going to give her credentials first, and then I'm going to share some personal things about her. She's an accredited coach, teacher, trainer, author, speaker. Her accolades are massive. She's a coach of coaches, a trainer of trainers. She's been incredibly accomplished. She's written this wonderful book called, I want to get the Train Wreck to Triumph, and she's been involved in the direct selling field for many decades, working with leaders. Also works in the conventional business world as a coach, and she calls herself a visionary strategist, and we're going to learn more about that in a few minutes. I've personally had the privilege of working with her. We met, I believe it's about 15 years ago through an organization called DSWA, the Direct Selling World Alliance. And you're going to hear more about that in the future. Some of you already know about it, but we've come back together recently because she made a call to me and said, "What are you doing to your skin?" And that was the beginning of our reconnection on a closer level. And one thing led to another, and she and her husband are having amazing results with our products. She's a new manager on her way to director, and she is what I call a transformational coach. And she's here to really empower us with understanding, how coaching can transform your business. Her name is Teri Werner, and she is here to not just empower you, but really support you in taking a quantum leap in your effectiveness as a leader. And you may be an accidental leader, you may be new to this profession, never been a leader. She will provide skills and tools for you that are so simple that you can put them into effect quickly and have truly quantum leaps in your effectiveness. And that's, and I do invite you to go to her website later, teriwerner.com, and read the testimonials, because when people work with Teri, when they get in her presence, quantum things happen. And I am thrilled to introduce to you Teri Werner. Hello, Teri.
Hello there. I'm not seeing myself. Are you seeing myself?
No, we're not. Where are you?
Where'd
You're looking gorgeous. I saw you earlier. Did you block your camera?
No. This is interesting. Okay, let me do this.
There you are.
There I am.
Oh, you were.
I'm sorry, just 1 second.
Okay, we got
you. I'm here.
You are here. We are here.
So great to be here. Thank you so much for your introduction. Those many decades made me feel a little old, but I've got the right patch.
Yeah. We're getting younger together. Isn't that wonderful?
We are.
So, this term that we use a lot called coaching is something that a lot of people don't know what it is. And in our profession, we have coaching, we have training, we have all kinds of things. So could you share your perspective of what is coaching versus training? And so we can lay our foundation and get clear from the beginning.
Sure. Coaching is probably my favorite subject, and it has changed my life. I am so passionate about coaching because it made a difference for me in relationships, in business, in every area. So basically, the short story would be that, you know me very well, I don't have a lot of short stories, they're pretty long, so we'll try to encapsulate this. Training is we train for what people do not know. It's more of a telecentric. We're going to tell them information. It's informational as far as context. Coaching is we're going to ask them the questions for them to find their own answer. It's all about leading them, supporting them to find their own answer. So we basically train for what you don't know, but we coach to help you discover the information you do know, to support you in that process. So training's informational. Coaching is transformational. Taking that information and converting it into transformation. And that's what bonds us to people. That's what creates engagement. And engagement is everything. As a speaker, trainer, as a coach, we all know any kind of business that we may be in, if we don't engage, we are missing out on almost everything. So coaching entails asking the right questions in the right way. And we ask open-ended questions. Those begin with who, when, what, where, how. We don't ask questions that can be answered in a yes or no approach. Because if you ask them a yes or no question and they say no, then what do you do with that?
Nothing.
You didn't say, oh yeah, right. But if you ask a question that requires more thought and it finds the answer and brings forward. So when you state a statement, as in training, and when you state a statement to someone, they're going to hear 22% of what you say. So 1 out of every 5 words are basically heard by them. So what can be implemented? People say over and over to me, well, I talk and talk and talk, I tell and tell and tell, and they don't seem to be hearing me. Well, they're not hearing you, because when you tell, you shut down the part of the brain to actually find the answer. When you ask an open-ended question, it puts a pressure on the brain to go and find that answer. And when they find their answer, then from that point on, growth happens. And also think about it, it takes the trainer, the coach, the leader out of the area of responsibility because it's their answer. And so when you ask open-ended questions, they hear 4 of every 5 items that you mentioned. 4 out of every 5 things you say, they hear 88%, and they integrate that, implement that. This works I've taught it and been involved with Texas A&M, with SMU. We've done things like that with other kinds of businesses. My story is I heard a statement from Zig Ziglar. It opened my heart, changed my mind, and I took that statement, integrated it, committed to it, created all those kind of things we do around it, strategies, and created that vision. And then I created a company that we took public on NASDAQ. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Really, the answers are the same. The questions are the same. The power is the same. So it takes us in direct sales to a market that we may sometimes be ignoring because we think, well, they're not the right market. Who are we to say? How are we to know what's going on unless we ask the right question?
I love it. I love it. You're speaking to me directly.
Oh, you are the coach of all coaches, for sure.
No. You're my coach. I love it. I love it. Well, we have worked together and it was transformational, and you're with me on a regular basis. We'll get into time blocking in a little while because that has made a huge difference in my life. Well, you and I come from the same background, that we define coaching from a historic definition of coaching. You want to share that with people?
Sure. Basically, the historic definition of coaching is to carry someone, is a carriage to carry someone. How we look at it in my level of coaching is we're taking someone from where they are to where they choose to be. We're building a bridge. We're taking them on that journey. And so to me, the left side of that bridge, if you ever look at a bridge across a constraint, a bridge across water, you're looking at the left side of the bridge, let's say, is going to be awareness. The right side of the bridge is going to be clarity. So taking them from where they are, creating that awareness and taking them into a place of clarity is so powerful. But if I live very close to a lake. I don't live by ocean, unfortunately. I live by a lake. And we go across these bridges and I'm thinking, if those constraints were not firmly attached to that bridge or vice versa, that's not called a bridge. That's called a raft. Okay, it's in water. And so to really give people that strength of going from where they choose to go, they have to become aware of where they are and then have clarity on where they choose to go. And that's why I'm a visionary strategist, because it's wonderful to have vision. It's powerful. It's one of the most powerful things I know. But if you have vision and you don't have strategies, you don't have a plan, you've got a great place you plan to be, but you don't really have a way to get there. So the vision and strategies combine to create an undergirding of what is transformational, which is change, which is achieving the vision and living the vision you want to live.
So you incorporate, and thank you for that, because in our profession, a lot of people have never had a background in our profession, have never had a background as a leader, as a coach, as a trainer, and you help people understand that there's some basics that can take them from where they are to where they want to be as a leader, a coach, a trainer. And you use this term, like you just mentioned, a visionary strategist. And I know a lot of people kind of, the vision is like, I don't really get it. Strategy, oh my gosh, I'm not one of those. But you put it all together so beautifully and help people realize that they can start from wherever they are and become effective.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Pardon me. Absolutely.
How is
I
it?
think, go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I'm
go
going to
ahead.
say what I think is so powerful. We are not aware of our power many times, and we think we bring people into our business, we share the opportunity, and we're so excited that many times we can become so telecentric that we're not really knowing what they're looking for, that this is an answer, but what's their question? And I think sometimes we don't understand our power, and people that can be like, I'd love to be in your business, but are you kidding? If I have to be you, if I have to know what you know, every time I'm on the phone with Robin, which is often, she gives me another bit of information and I'm like, oh my word, there's so much to know. But in starting your business and in moving forward into leadership, the questions are the most powerful thing to know. Learn 3 questions. Those 3 questions are all they need to know. Can you ask 3 questions and then move forward?
Okay. What are they?
Well, depending on who you're talking to, customers, potential, prospects in team. And I can't imagine how anybody could not share this program, this product, is to just ask them. One of my favorite questions in the whole world, and people that hear me speak often know, oh gosh, can she get a new question? Is there another question? My first question is always, if anything were possible, what is the one thing you would choose to be possible for you? Is that in your health? Is that in your wealth? Either way, depending on what they're looking for. So I'm going to repeat it. If anything were possible, in parentheses, we know it is. We know everything is possible. What is the one thing you would choose to be possible for you? And so when you're talking to a prospect, you can talk about their health. What is one thing they would love to see different in their health? If it's otherwise, yeah.
It's so fascinating that that's your first question, because I go back to my Covey days, and I remember Stephen Covey asking, because we were talking about quadrant 2 and leverage, and you got the leverage thing down. So that was the one question. If there was one thing you could do even better in your business that would make the biggest difference, what would it be? If there's one thing you could do better in your personal life. So we're looking at, where do we get the greatest leverage, and focusing on what's most important. Okay, there's 2 more.
Okay, so you ask that question first, and then when that takes place in your life, what difference will that make?
Ooh.
And then, asking them to tell you more. The more you let them talk, and I say allow them to talk, because a lot of times we as direct sellers are very talkative. And we know I used to joke about the fact that I was so controlling. If you didn't have your answer, I had your question and your answer, for you. You didn't have to talk. I'll let you know when you have an opinion. I will have taken a breath. I was that person. And coaching changed me for the most part. Don't talk to my husband. He's at work, so don't talk to him about it. So what difference will that make? And allow them to talk more about that, because the more they talk, the more the reality of the pain they're in, the contrast between where they are and where they would love to be. And that contrast takes them to a sense of urgency. So what difference would that make?
Whoa.
Is very, very important to know.
So you're providing the bridge, but can I ask you a personal question? When did you shift from being the talker controller into being the coach? What changed in you?
Coach training. Training. And I'll tell you, coach training, but actually what happened before that was I went through a few train wrecks where I went from being the answer person, the one that was the golden girl that everything worked for, owned 5 businesses at one time. People knew if I broke up during my dating years, if I broke up with a guy, because I went and started a new business. Oh, well, she must have broken up with someone. She's got a business going. I was very controlling, very dominant, but I came to a place where my own answers were not enough. And it was a very difficult place. And that's why I've written the book, Trainwreck Triumph, because there are principles that take you out of that place of devastation. And I think we all have a place in life where things are not working like we would like them to, where we just don't have the answers. And then the coaching experience was so powerful for me, but it was very difficult for me at first because I was used to being a consultant. So we have all the answers. We're paid to walk in the room and you sit there and you listen, but we all have all the responsibility for the answers. And so those two things coming together, but coach training was without question one of the most powerful things for me, and coaching. And actually I learned how to connect people to their vision through my clients, through my coaching clients. As I coached them, it was just so empowering. Things just went forward. And it was really a God thing in the right questions coming forward. And so then after you ask those questions, you want to ask, what's the next step? So you want to connect them. So when that takes place and you're able to go to the soccer games with your kids or whatever they say, and how different will that feel for you? And you let them set in that. We're way too anxious to get people to move from depth. And if you think about when you dive into a lake, you want to dive away from the brush around, from all the seaweed and all that kind of thing, the algae around the shore. Where you get entangled is when you're not in the deep. And I think we try to keep it about the next step without keeping it about the deep. Let them feel the depth. Because if you let them feel the depth, what happens is they are bonded to you in a way that's so powerful because no one else is asking that question. No one else is asking them what they would choose to create in their life. And then when they tell you, then what is your willingness? What willingness do you have to hear more?
That's so beautiful. So you've been through your own transformation and you own it. So now you get to share it with others in ways. And we know that, everybody, I think most people know the reason I love our profession so much is it's a really safe place for people to grow into their potential. And the better we become as coaches, the faster our business will grow. And you've got stats around that. I know you do. We don't need to get into them, but it is profound, isn't it?
It is.
So let's get a little deeper about vision and coaching and strategy, because they all come together in ways like you've started to talk about. A lot of people not have a vision for their life. And so what's that quote? If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. I know you start with vision for people because otherwise, and business is truly a vehicle to get us from where we are to where we want to be. It's a vehicle business. And so is our profession a vehicle. So how do you start off with people when they're just beginning and the work with vision?
Well, I ask for their permission to go a little deeper. And basically I begin with that first question. If anything were possible, what would you choose? What is the one thing you would choose to be possible for you? And then elaborate and go deeper. We have a tendency to buy into the concept, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I just think it's less than all, is we believe that commitment's everything. And we really slide over the connection piece. So I have created a system to create and to support others in creating their vision. It's create, connect, commit, and collaborative strategies. So we slide over the connection piece. That's where I spend 80% of my visionary coaching time in that first session or two is in the connection piece. And it's up to us as leaders to increase their capacity of those we are leading and talking to explore their possibilities and achieve a life that represents their vision. And it's up to us as leaders. So if you ask someone, why are they, what amount of money would they want to make? And, they tell you what they're going to want to do. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to take my son on a trip. It's going to be Disney World. His name's going to be Johnny, all those things. And then you don't let that set with the connection. The level of her connection will always be more powerful than her commitment. So really asking those questions that are going to build the connection, that's going to create that connection, because they're not, maybe the people you're leading may not be at that point that they have delved into vision. They've given themselves permission to dream. So vision is basically the picture you put around, you wrap around your emotional why. And the connection to that is always going to be higher than the commitment. So when you ask them, well, what's your commitment to achieve this? And they say, I'm a 10, but their connection level is a 4. No, their commitment's not a 10, because what are they committing to? So I really feel leaders spending more time around that connection piece and really delving into that and enlarging that picture and asking them what that level, scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of connection? But we build that picture, we expand that picture a little more for them. And that builds trust. And as they step into that vision that we are expanding, we're in that vision with them. And then taking them to, if I knew of anything that has created, or something that has created that experience for others, what would be your willingness to know more? And how important is it to you? Yeah, exactly. It's a powerful question. How important is it to you? Right. So when you get that connection, the same thing when talking to a prospect for the patches, what will a change in their agility, their flexibility? What will a change in a lot of the things that we make a difference in make in their life? And let them live in that and let them feel that. You have the power to take people to a place of feeling by your inflection, your tone, and your pace and your voice, by your gestures, by the fact that you're there. I get excited right now talking about a vision of someone I don't even know, and I don't even know what I'm talking is. I feel that excitement because I am giving that excitement to myself so they can feel it. And when they feel that, they feel me, and we're bonded. And
That
then we
is
move forward.
really touching. So I personally, you say connection is really the key. Could you elaborate a little bit more about what connection means? Because I think this is a key piece for a lot of people to make a big shift right now. Yeah.
I think connection to me is feeling one with that dream, with you, with whatever it's going to take them to what they're yearning for. That being of one, that being engaged, that as a side note, I watch people sometimes at restaurants introduce opportunities to people. And it's difficult for me because I'm like, the person that is sitting there having questions never gets to ask a question. It's like, oh my word. You want to just say, do you have an off button? Let me talk. But asking those questions and being willing for the answer. So it takes you only have to know 2 or 3 questions because it takes you to that place, but that connection, that feeling one. So how will that feel? For instance, if they're on the plane with Johnny going to Disney World, when you hear those landing gear take place, when you hear those wheels, whatever you want to call them, that you hear that and you hear that, feel that jar, and Johnny looks at you and you look at Johnny, what is that feeling you feel? What do you feel?
So
Now, I could have said,
connected to their feelings related to their vision.
Their feelings and their experience.
Okay.
They actually pre-experience the experience at that moment. So we say, well, let's go a year from now and you're in that place. And you take them there. And also, I think allowing them to experience, and you are actually in that experience with them. You have the power to do that, to really with your excitement in your voice, with your inflection, your tone, I could say, so, okay, so you're in the plane with Johnny and you hear those wheels. What do you feel about that? I'm not going to have there's not going to be a great outcome there. But when you look at him and he looks at you and, there's something there. And then you step into it. Sometimes I'll say, you know what he's seeing in you? He's seeing a mom that made a choice, that set a goal, that found a business, that made it happen. He is seeing someone who made decision. He is seeing a role model show him, what do you dream? You can do.
Mm, mm.
And
So
engagement.
this is, we are in such a privileged place in our business to change lives. And by modeling what you just talked about is what we get to do as leaders. And for people that have never done this before and they're new and they think, oh my God, I can't be like so-and-so or so-and-so, but they can be like themselves. But you've seen people be successful really quickly that have no experience, correct?
Right. It's been amazing. People that I typically work with, people new in the company, leaders, or mid-range, they're kind of midway in it, what we would call maybe a gold manager or a little higher. And they really, by implementing certain skills, I don't believe leadership traits are important. I believe leadership skills are important, business skills, the same business skills that we use in any other type of business, we integrate in the direct sales. All the direct sales businesses is an entrepreneurial opportunity where everything is really done for you, but the connecting and the growing, all the business has been created. And so that is what I look at direct sales at. So when we go into that place of building the skills, learning the skills of creating awareness. So as you know, I do 4 calls called Empower Your Vision.
I was just going to ask you.
You were going to ask me about that. I thought that's where you were going.
That's where I'm going. You got it. You got it. I love working with you.
So it's 4 calls, and the first call is creating awareness. A lot of times we're doing the right thing. We're busy. We're doing all the things. We're learning all the information. However, there may be a missing piece in our commitment, in our own emotional why and our vision around our emotional why. So the first call really helps people become aware of what is their level of commitment that is showing up in their business. How connected are they to their vision? And what is their level of commitment? If other people look at you and how you do your business, what level of commitment do they see? And we create awareness around that. It's really quite amazing. That call in itself does so much for people to go, wow, I'm not acting, my attitude and actions are not showing up to be that which I say I'm committed to. In the second call, we go into mind mapping, multitasking, why not to do it, all the information around that. And you were I'm going to say, you are not going to win any awards of how easily you were willing to take that. You fought that a little bit.
That's an understatement. It's still a journey.
It is, but you were so willing to, to embrace. So we talk about that. We talk about actually train on how to use, time blocking to really create a life around which productivity takes place and still have your life. A lot of times people think, well, I want this business, but I'm not willing to pay the price because I'm going to have to be on 24/7. No, our brain thinks in compartments, not in to-do list. So we compartmentalize isolated singular categories of function, which is one function. You do that thing, and we go through the whole training on it. There's a handout, a full color handout that is sent out to every person that they copy, print off, that has a template for them to use with their team. So they can learn how to use this in that conversation to build the team. And then they learn how to use it and put it together. And where are they committed? What time are they committed? And go into the income producing activities. So the D side of me comes out and let's go into those activities. Let's schedule those. And a lot of times I'll say, well, who are you going to connect with? They're like, well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to connect. Okay, who are you going to connect with? Oh, people. I'm going to connect with people, you know, and they go on. And so we ask them to like write these names down. Let's talk about this. And so the reality is it boils things down to production. And it's duplicatable. The handout helps you. You can give it out. It's duplicatable. And it's one of the most powerful things that's ever happened to me was to learn how to use this in conversations about building team. Some of the first conversations. And then the next one is we talk about empowerment partnering, how to build responsible leaders, to grow responsible leaders where you're not chasing them, they're chasing you, where there are intentional, yes, it's wonderful. Set up that communication. Everything's about setting up for success. And the challenge is in what we do with team, many times, we don't ask the question, what does success look like to you? What does it look like? So we talk about the word, but the meaning of the word is very different for many people. And maybe they haven't even given thought to what success looks like. So then we go into intentional business. How do you set up your week for intentional business? How is that communicated to your upline? And how is that communicated to your team? And so it wraps a really very holistic approach to how to do your, whether you're very young in the business. I had one person I developed this call for, a leader I was coaching, who was kind of mid-range in the leadership area. And she had 17 of her team on the call with her. They all text her and said, I'm in, I want to do this call. Her business grew 400% in 8 months because she integrated and because it's a system, it just works. Now, Gregory's, I mean, I don't even talk about system in front of this guy, but you know, he is the guru of all systems. I have a system for creating vision, connecting with vision, committing, and the collaborative strategies are this call because those strategies are going to give you the skills that you keep duplicating, so forth.
Okay, so it's at the bottom of the hour.
I know already.
So I want to make sure everyone knows Teri offers this coaching. It's 4 sessions, like she talked about. She went through the details. It's a group session, and I think you used to charge what, $150 a person, and you're making it available for $59. We need 20 people that commit to $59 for 4 sessions with Teri. And if you're ready in your life for a quantum shift in yourself and in your business, because this is way beyond business, the tools you'll get from Teri can make a huge difference in your entire life. I'm wanting to have whoever wants in our team to be in. We got people say, I'm in. How do I sign up?
Great.
We got a team of action. And if you're one of those people that for whatever reason, $59, you just can't make it right now, we're going to offer 4 scholarships. Teri's kicking into, and Gregory and I are kicking into, and we want to make sure that everybody who wants to be in this, who's ready for that quantum shift in their life, and to participate with us, because we're going to have a lot of fun and you're going to see things happen, because anyone who gets anywhere close to Teri, their life changes.
Oh, that's very sweet.
I am living proof.
Well, my life has changed because of you, for sure. The heart, I refer to you as the heart and soul.
Oh,
the way you communicate is so soulful, and it has been from the minute I met you. And thank you for that. Have you shown how for people to sign up for that?
Okay, I am just about to put it in the chat. And so there's a paypal.me/TW mastermind without a space. And you can put your $59 in. And when we get 20 people, and there's a lot of people saying, I'm in. So this is,
we can do up to 100 on a call, but we start with 20.
Okay, we'll start. We need a minimum of 20, and reach out to me personally if you're one of those that really wants a so when are we going to start these?
Well, we'll need to come up with a schedule on that. They're usually once a week because we want to give time to integrate And there are handouts that you use for note taking, and you make a separate copy, print off a separate copy for your team. So we'll have to coordinate that. It's
Okay.
usually on the same evening every week, and it's
Okay.
usually an evening call, but we'll work that all out. When you go into and pay your $59, I think, is it okay, Robin, if they email? I want to make sure we have your emails to send you the handouts.
Okay.
So we'll figure all that out.
Okay, we'll figure it out. It says that this can't find this profile in the PayPal link. Okay, I'll get it out to everyone and we'll
Okay.
make sure that it works. So for those of you
Okay,
that want to
sure.
participate, we'll get
Hmm.
that. So I
Okay.
thought I wrote it paypal.me. Let me just,
It's paypal.me/TW Mastermind.
okay. Everybody get that?
Works on
Paypal.me.
my end. Let me see here.
Try retyping it. The mastermind got unhooked from the link is the problem.
Oh, okay. So
So-
sorry. Yeah.
So Doug put it in there, and so we've got the course, and we'll let you know. What would work for me is a Thursday night, just because all my other nights are full. And we don't want to, and we don't want to do a weekend. So we'll give people enough time to watch the replay of this, because not everyone could be here. We have a nice group here today. But after that, we'll put it in our newsletter, and we'll put it out a week or two to get started, so everybody is properly prepared. And is there anyone have any final questions for Teri? Is it okay if I pay through your site and not that link, someone says?
I'd rather it go through the PayPal link, because that's the way it's set up. But if they can,
So
if you
Ela, why don't you reach out to me and we'll figure it out, okay?
right.
Guess
Cash
what?
App or whatever.
Guess
yeah.
what? They said, Ela said already paid.
Great. One thing I would like to say, this last thing, is a lot of people have had a lot of success about letting their team know about it, and the team gets the same information as you get. So you're not going to the team and having time to communicate everything. So if you have people that are at that level that you feel they would want to build and duplicate, that might be a thought.
No, it's not just a thought, it's an action.
Yes.
So this is
Okay.
not just for us, it's for us and our team.
Mhm,
Because if you want your team to take a quantum leap, then join us, and we're going to
We've
have
had much success with that. Having one team even on that had 20, 30 people was really powerful.
We can handle, great. We can handle up to 100, but 20 is the minimum. And reach out to me if you are interested in a scholarship, and we'll take care of you. And any other final questions? And Teri's website is teriwerner.com, TeriWerner. And like I mentioned, please go to the testimonials, because like I said, just getting around Teri's presence, things change, and she's coming to visit me. So I can't wait to see what unfolds.
I'm excited. That's going to be great.
Yes. Okay. Kai already sent four registrations in.
Great. Oh, you guys are so happening. I'm telling you, this is going to be
well,
so much fun.
and we want to personally thank Kai, because it's all his fault that we're here, because he's the one who made the call to us that said, there's a new technology that activates your own stem cells. So thank you, Kai. Mahalo. And
my husband is very grateful. He has chronic back pain. He was inflexible for decades. And in 2 days, he is gyrating around and doing, I've never even seen him like this. So thank you, Kai.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, Teri and her husband, David, have had amazing results on the products, and can't not share like the rest of us. So a lot of people are saying registered. Take you're fabulous. I mean, it's
wow. I can't wait to see all the comments.
You might want to look before we disappear. So we will be in touch with everyone that has registered, and we'll get you, when we're going to get started. It'll probably Thursday work for you. Is that
it's perfect for me? Yes.
Okay, good. I'm very grateful.
Need to set a date.
So Tom Ackland says, I'm in for quantum. Yes. And that's Dr. Tom, who's one of our great doctors, who's a wonderful contribution. So we have lots of great people that you're going to get to work with, and we're going to watch our team go to the moon.
Great. I'm excited.
Well,
Thank you
thank
all.
you,
Very honored.
everyone. And let me
Very
see if there's
honored.
any final questions from anyone. Um, Any questions from anyone before we close our call? Let's see. I'm just so excited for all of this, that we all get to do this together. Yeah, Michael's registered, Anne Marie Dixon's registered. There's some scholarships from an upline leader that are registered. So how fun is that?
Wow.
And that's something as a leader. And you know, the beauty of this profession is you can start anywhere, having had no experience in this business, as a leader, as a coach, and you can thrive beyond your wildest dreams. And that's why Teri and I love this profession so much.
Mhm. You
Yeah.
can.
And you can tell there's a lot more to come from Teri. So we might want to have her back, because we didn't even get into mentoring and all kinds of other amazing things.
Oh, yes. I
But
can't wait. I
yeah.
look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Okay, everybody. Well,
Thank you.
thank you, Teri. That was
you.
just, as always, a gift to be in your presence and share your wisdom with our team. And we're ready to rock and roll. So
I want to say thank you, and it's been a great honor. It is my joy to coach, so thank you.
yeah, well, your love and your passion is empowering people, and you're magnificent at it. And that's what we get to do in our business, is help people live the life that they want, whatever they want, not what we want for them, but what they want for
So true.
themselves. Yeah, so
Thank you
thanks,
all.
everybody. We're gonna
Thank
say
you.
goodbye. I hate
Bye-bye.
to say goodbye. This is too much fun, but
That went quick. Bye-bye. Take
it
care.
does. Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.